Okay, so I'm live part 2. Let's hope it works this time. Hopefully you guys will have better sound. Let me tap in this link. We'll get a few people in here and you guys will let me know if the sound is any better. Settings, open, update. Okay, close that. Didn't reset the camera, so now I'm all pink. Oh well, whatever. I'm not that good looking under the best Photoshop environment. It's not a good noise. All right, somebody let me know if the sound is good before we have to eject the third time. Let me find out. Somebody chat and say, hey, sounds good. Sound is good. Sound is good now. No static. Okay. I wonder why. Isn't that crazy? Seriously. Been following the same procedure over and over until sometimes it doesn't work. Okay. Well, we're back in business. Let's wait just a couple minutes and then we will. Get going on this. All right. I sound primo. Hey, Red. Hey, Len. Hey, Vic. Hey, Lenny. Let's see, Lenny, I sent you out an email a minute ago with the new thing on. Pauline is here. Sound is much better. Good. Renee, aloha from Lakewood. All right, so let's give everybody just a minute or two to log in, and then we'll get started. I apologize. We had the static problem again, and I have, for the life of me, can't figure out when that's going to happen. So I think we're just beyond the permanent "is the sound good" program, and you guys will always let me know if I'm falling apart. And then we're playing two arpeggios basically today. So that's pretty funny, Jaya. I just realized that. Let's see, who else is logging in? Terry's here. Hi, howdy. Vicky is here. Sound is better now. Gary H. and Dan, 2 miles north of Portland. You want to be at least 500 yards north of Portland these days, right? Oh my goodness, you guys are very, very famous up in that part of the world. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Goodness sakes, crazy times we're going through. Diane, you're gonna miss. You're missing our Friday Kick Your Fanny concert to go golfing. Come on, Diane. Where's your commitment to excellence? I'm feeling very. Ugh. All right, I do the same thing. Hey, Sandy, welcome back. You got the email with the secret song. Yes, we're going to talk about the secret song. Maybe Thursday. Okay. Much better. See, Kat's the first one in, and then the sound was all messed up. So I'm blaming Kat today. I think that's just faster and easier to blame Kat for everything. I think I'm in tune. Sounds more or less like I'm in tune, right? Are you guys in tune? Do you ever check your tuning? Does it turn out that you have to check every single time you play? Didn't need to touch it at all since yesterday. That's crazy. Hey, Bruce, welcome in. Bruce is up in Spokane. Marie's up in Broomfield. All right, let's get going. Sorry about the delay. We had sound issues, and so we restarted. And there's probably a few people still over at the other link going, well, where is it? I don't think I can delete it while I'm live, but who knows? Let's go find out. I might be able to. Okay. Let's see. Or I'll end up deleting you guys, one of the two. Let's see. Gary, Studio. You wait. Check on videos. Live. That one's going on. I should be able to make this one go away. Oh, I had everything all set, just perfect. Oops, cancel. Let's do this and delete. I understand. Delete forever. All right, now they'll know that that's not a thing. Okay, well, we're ready to play. Carol's in, ready to play. Let's play key of G major, okay? If you are newer, this stuff is hard, okay? If you are been around a while, this stuff is still hard, right? And so let's talk about the things you will encounter in the key of G major arpeggio. First off, today is all going to be all about the claw. Both of the pieces that we're playing today are very claw-like activities. And so, hey, Elizabeth, welcome in. So we're going to be playing with claw today. And we are going to be doing a tiny bit of strumming, but for the most part, it's really a claw day. And we're going to be doing, your main chord is G chord, index, middle, ring. Okay, that's your main chord. That's why it's called key of G major. Okay, it's great, buddy, right here. It sounds like there's multiple voices. Oh gosh, let me close this out. Am I still sounding like I have multiple voices? Pick which voice you like the best, and then see if that's the one you want to listen to. I'm going to talk a little while longer, and then you guys let me know if the sound is unacceptable, and I don't know what we'll do. E minor is your second chord. Okay, and notice here's a little sneaky trick. Sometimes it makes sense when you're playing G, just to put your pinky up there, and now you have an E minor. Okay, and you can just leave this guy hanging out up there. So that's a little sneaky trick. I don't usually do that. I spent years literally working on this shape here. I don't know why. This was the one that I had the biggest trouble with. So you got G, E minor, or you can do G and just toss your pinky up there and you got an E minor. Yeah, both of those have their best strengths and weaknesses, right? And then we have, are you guys there? Am I still on? I'm worried that Marie says there's multiple voices and then now it's very quiet from you guys. Somebody let me know you're alive out there and that I'm speaking in one voice. There's a conversation that you're fine. Slight static, one voice. There's a conversation that's blocking. There's a conversation that's blocking me. There's a conversation. One voice, very intermittent crackle. Wow. I don't know. How could there possibly be a conversation going on? I figured out the secret song and almost Linda, shh, don't tell anybody what the secret songs are. I know a lot of you guys have figured out at least one of them. Okay. Same as Lanny. One voice, very intermittent crackle. Something's going on with YouTube. There is no possible way. There's no conversation. I am, as far as I'm aware, the only person in this building. So I sound fine there. Okay, I'm going to go on the assumption that my sound is good enough to last for now, and then can still hear you, though maybe you have multiple persons. I do have lots of voices in this head, but I try to only have one that makes sense coming out of this mouth, and it's harder than you would think. Most of you are dealing with the same issue, right? Most of you are like, voices, government, blah, whatever going on in your head, right? And what comes out of your mouth is, things are great. I'm doing just fine. This is interesting times we're living through. That's what's coming out of your mouth, right? Okay, let's just keep it that way. If there comes a point where the sound is unacceptable, then we can try one last reboot. I don't know what else to do. All right, so I'll continue. And then if at some point I turn into, some sort of transformer voice, then you'll let me know. All right, here's E minor. Play that one next. Here's C chord, okay, and D chord. That's how you know if you have the right size ukulele. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, there's that. Fran's hearing me great. Fran's the one that needs to hear me the most. Okay, hey Patty, welcome in. Vicky, Alan. All right, everybody's in. So those are your main chords in the first part of the song. Notice down at measure 15, we're going to use this C chord. Okay, that's a bar. Either use a full bar with an A shape in front, or you can use a half bar with the A shape in front. Okay, and then at measure 6, that's at 13. At measure 14, just slide up to get the D chord. Don't pick everybody up, move up, and then put everybody back down. That's a waste of your energy. C chord, slide up to that. Okay. And then we'll go back to open chord shapes for the rest of the tune. So there's only one moment, 13 and 14, where you got to have your bar chords ready. Other than that, yeah, it's fine. Notice there's a repeat at the bottom of the page. So we're going to go play to the bottom of the page, go back up and play the whole page again. On page 2 at 23, you notice in tablature and you notice in the standard notation, one note at a time, right? And whenever I see that, I'm going to play with my thumb because I'm going to get the prettiest tones out of it. And all I'm doing is trying to read the whole measure ahead to make sure. All right, so it's 2 2 5 5 2 2 5 5, a couple zeros, right? And then I'm trying to read enough ahead so I can look away from the paper, make sure my fingers are set properly, and then I'm going to get my eyeballs back up on the paper. So I think that's hopefully how you're thinking about music in general, is when you get to a piece of music that you're like, okay, I'm going to have to take my eyes off the paper. You kind of tell yourself, all right, the whole measure ahead, I got to do this, 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 this. Look down, then look back up. That's what you're working on, right? And it's easy to talk about, very hard to do in terms of looking ahead and playing music as well as you know how you know that you can. Then finally, measure 31. Then we're going to go into your strums, right? Okay, and get on the right frets. And you can do a couple of things when you see something like that, where it's a strum, pluck, pluck, pluck. You can do both. You could either do just strum and then thumb, 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 or you can do strum, pluck, pluck, pluck. I would say they're not necessarily one is more preferable than the other. I think you want to learn it both ways and get where you're comfortable doing a strum and then some plucking, also strum and then thumbing, and then possibly even rolling your chord with this. I find this pretty challenging. Roll your chord with plucks. That's a very classical guitar technique, and then that way things don't get out of whack there. But it does clearly have a different sensibility than just a straight glissando there. So practice all of those different ways. What happens is you practice, and then when you're getting ready to perform, you're going to pick the one that's least likely to explode in your face. And so for me, that's for sure going to be my thumb every time. But give yourself an opportunity to play that in different manners so that you can get everything just as pleasant and as beautiful as you can, while being as safe as you can as a musician, right? So we want to play the best we can possibly play based on the amount of time we practice, but we also know that when it's time to show up at the open mic or at the community strum along or Red Rocks or wherever it is that you're going to be playing your next beautiful piece of music, that you are prepared to play it in a way that it's going to work, where you're going to wow your audience and be safe. Hey, Clay, Gary says that sounds fine. Let's see. All right, I think it's hi to everybody. All right, let's play it. Here we go. Lots of claw on page 1. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Top of the paper. Still holding it, right? Now you can let it go. There we go. That's a lot of music. It only takes 2 minutes to play that song. Probably 2 minutes 10, 2 minutes 20, something like that. Um, but it feels like by the time you get through it, if you've done it well, that you have presented an incredible piece of music, right? One of the things I notice is when you watch piano players, their songs tend to be fairly long. But when you watch guitar players, their songs tend to be fairly short. I think it's partly to do with the physical and mental demands of this particular instrument over a piano. With the piano, really the physical demands are not nearly there's some small movement demands that are quite challenging, but you don't get near as exhausted from playing piano as you do from playing these fretted instruments. And I think there's just so many things that you're working and you're trying to hold the instrument, all this stuff. So when you get to the end of a 2 minute song or a 2.5 minute song, boy, you feel like, God, I just got punched in the face, right? I do think, hopefully that song is playing pretty well. There's, like I say, almost the entire piece is all open chords with the exception of 13 and 14, right? And you've got some bar chords in there that obviously, for some of you, those are no big deal. For some of you, it is the deal, right? It's the one thing that you're positive is standing between you and international stardom is your stupid bar. And again, just be patient with yourself. That bar will come along. And I do think, in terms of just a nice piece of music that really is going to give you a lot of skill set. This is one of those that you could use to warm up on and keep in. So good. I think that's enough discussion of that. I don't think there's anything else really to talk about on that song. Make sure you know all those chords. Those chords are coming up every single day in your life. So there we go. Clay made it in. I think I said Renee. Thank you. Oh, good, Renee. I love that. Whenever I hear one of you guys say, I just played that song and I played it well, that's what we're after, right? Because most of the time, especially when you're here and you're playing with me, most of the time it's going to go iffy, right? Because when you're at home, you can adjust your timing a little bit. When you get to that hard part, you sort of slow it down. When you get to the easy part, just sort of speed it up a little bit. You're not supposed to, but you do, and all of us do. And we end up sounding a tiny bit better than we really should think than we do. And we don't dare put a videotape machine up there because it'll tell you the truth. And so we end up feeling like, hey, I've got this song. It makes pretty much, I can do this. And then when you come to class and you're supposed to be playing along with me, then all of a sudden things get a whole lot more interesting real fast. And so I think that's why we show up partly. That's what, I tell you guys all the time, you got to practice and you got to show up. The showing up is the hard part because just playing on your own, you're going to sound amazing. But when you start having to play with other people or play in time with me or play in time with a metronome, or even a metronome counts as showing up, right? I mean, they're not, I don't recommend using them, but you can to just double check how you're doing in reality. And it's a lot harder to play that way. And the reason we do that is because you're going to get a lot better once you can do that. And so hopefully, playing something at this level is going to kind of push you into that next level of play. And I think when I look around and I see what's going on in the ukulele world, and I think about what's going well and what's not going so well, we are killing, absolutely destroying the first day of ukulele. We absolutely, I mean, you go on YouTube and you go around and you see what people are teaching, and day one is lights out, right? It's everything after there that falls apart. And I think the fact that you guys are trying to play a piece like this in this style with plucking, strumming, on some of the other pieces, this type of strumming, all of these other pieces and parts are coming together, and nothing is coming out of your face. That's a level of crazy that you have reached that you should feel really excited about. Not very many ukulele players are going to get there. I had trouble logging in. I had to reset my password again. Wasn't able to sign. Oh, Evelyn, you and goodness sakes, Cuenca is out to get you. Okay. Don't think that things are necessarily any better here. We had a heck of a time getting logged in for the whole thing today. So, all right, I'm going to keep moving on. Hopefully, the sound is staying good. We have a fairly challenging piece, I think, in Estudio, and hopefully I had a chance to print it out and take a look at it. This will be one of the very few times when I recommend you don't play the tough uke. Okay, and I'll tell you why here in just a second. Let's see, website stuff. We have tomorrow, we have our concert. So just remember, what I like you to do is I like you to put your sheets in order. Here's how I like you to do it. I like you on a day-to-day basis. I just want you to have a book, and I want everything in alphabetical order. It'll make it so much easier. Then when you come to concert time, so tomorrow we're playing, we'll be doing the Make a Better Bar worksheet again, just making sure we're working on that bar all the time. Then we will play Key of G Arpeggio as our warm-up. Then we have All Through the Night. Remember, that's a little bit of a plucker. Okay. Home on the Range, that's a really pretty arrangement. I think probably that's going to involve your thumb. La Cucaracha, remember, we're going to be working on staccato. Dun, 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 dun. So we're working on staccato. Ash Grove, you'll remember from beginning of this week. Well, it's actually carried over from last week because I couldn't play it last week. We have a couple of chords on page 2 that are just not cool. And so I want you to maybe take a little bit of time tonight to review those. Drunken Sailor, we really used it to practice playing in different keys. So probably tomorrow we'll play it in the key that it's written in, and then we'll pick one or two others to sing a couple. We'll switch the keys in the middle and give you a chance to practice a couple of the other chord pairings. Buffalo Gals is just a cute song, nothing really much to talk about. And again, Colorado Trail, another one of those we're trying to get as lush and beautiful of a final presentation. And then Estudio. So if I'm putting my book together as a conductor, I don't really want to tear my whole book apart, right? So I'm going to go get those little, I don't think I have any sitting here, those little stick-on tabs, that is a sign here, those things. You can get them in different colors, and I'll go ahead and just put those on my sheet music so that it's easy for me to go to those tabs. And then once I'm done with the song, I take the tab off and put it on the side of my music stand. But that's a way to arrange your book where you don't have to unarrange your book, right? So if you keep everything in alphabetical order and then just put those tabs in the order that you're going to play things in, it will make, I think the reason I like to coach that is when you get ready to go out and perform somewhere, that's probably how you're going to do it. And it's just a nice practice to be, hey, taking performances seriously. So tomorrow will be book 2, Guinea Pig Week Part 2, and that's funny. That's a crazy name for our week. And then then it's Friday already. What happened to Monday through Thursday? I don't know. Then the weekend. Next week we will be wrapping up the intro program, right? So we have Simple Gifts, Daisy Bell, the key of F arpeggio. Remember, that's the tough one. And then Aloha Oi and Scarborough Fair are all next week for the new people. I haven't finished the work I need to do for the next level songs, but I think they're actually, for the most part, going to be a little bit easier than this week, I think, because I kind of wanted you guys to have a little bit of a challenge this week and to test a few songs. I wasn't sure if we were going to put in book 2 or not. But so next week will be definitely a few more of the little bit easier tunes. And so come around for that and see how you do up against some easier tunes, right? When I say they're easier, that doesn't mean they're easy. Let's see, what else do I have coming up next week? Well, then we have another week after that where we are probably going to double up on my book 2 proposals. And also note August 10th, that's not this coming Monday, but the Monday after that, we're going to take that day off. I will have been married 29 years and I need to go hit myself with a hammer. And so it's my wedding anniversary that day. And Donna took the day off, so I'm going to take the day off and we're going to go do something. We can't do anything, but we're going to sit around the house and feel sorry for ourselves together. And then we have one other week where we'll just I'm not entirely sure what we're gonna be playing the third week in August, August 17th through August 23rd. But then August 24th, we're gonna start level 1 over. I'm gonna be adding in a couple of other classes into the daily routine. I'm gonna make sure to keep class time from 105 to 150 for you guys in this time slot, so that if you are back at school or you're teaching or doing whatever it is that you do in life, you can finish up at 1 o'clock. You finish 12:50, go to the bathroom, be here for the class, and then I'll get you out 10 minutes before the hour. So for those of you who are teachers, I am thinking of you. And also, if any of you have grandkids or kids or adults who need something in the day, the one thing I know, a lot of the schools are not going to open back up like they're supposed to, like we need them to, but it's just too scary and weird and dangerous right now, and so a lot of them won't. But there's no way. Most parents don't know music education. Talk to people and say, hey, you're homeschooling, go check out Gary's stuff, because at least these kids can be getting some music education for free at home until they get back to regular school and having music teachers who know what they're doing teaching them. Okay, so be paying attention to your Facebook feed and figure out who's not going back to school, and then asking them how they're getting their music education in. And if they don't own one of these, they need to get one, right? It's going to be good. Okay, let's play Tàrrega. Tàrrega is there's a handful of very famous, very well-known classical guitar composers, and Tàrrega is one of them. And when you study classical guitar, Tàrrega is for sure going to be one of those things that you study. And what we want to do is, now anything that they can do on guitar, we can do better on this thing, right? And so this is essentially note for note exactly what Tàrrega wrote. The only difference is that on the guitar you have these two other strings which are make it unpleasant to play, and so there on his original piece you're going to be playing with your thumb to hit those strings. Well, we don't have those strings, so I just took them off, right? We don't need them. The other thing I did here, and we'll talk about when we get to Tough Uke, I went ahead and instead of doing the thumb thing for the bass note, I went ahead and tossed in the chord there. And I would say overall, it's not necessarily a very effective way to do that. So let's go through. We're going to take our time, play through this a bunch of times today, and by the end, you're going to be like, okay, I got it. Okay, not a terribly hard piece, but really beautiful and very evocative, and we get to do harmonics at the end, which is very exciting. Okay, so your main chord is A minor. Okay, and I think often they will refer to this piece as Estudio in E minor by Tàrrega. For you, it's A minor. That's the same exact chord shape. It's just that your ukulele is tuned higher than a guitar. So A minor, then D minor. Okay. And then you got an E7, and then an A minor. Now, aren't those beautiful chords on a ukulele? They're absolutely gorgeous. A minor, D minor, E7, A minor. And if you're thinking about writing a sad song, sometimes you'll write about whatever is making you sad these days. Dum dum ba dum ba da ba dum bum ba da da ba da dum ba da 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 dum bum bum. That'll take you a long way. So that's the first section, and notice the song has, and very classical in that sense, and not classical officially classical, but classical in what they call art music now. They don't call it classical music because the classical era is a very specific time period. So now they call it art music, as if that clarifies the situation. So very art music in the sense that measures 1 through 8, you repeat it twice. And you'll see that a lot in this old-fashioned kind of music, where you'll do the first section twice, and then you'll do the second section twice. A, B, B is how we would play that. Now, section 2, 9 through 16, again, you go right back to your A minor, you go to D minor. You'll see this a lot in a lot of songs where you go from D minor to G7, okay? And then off to C. C's best friend is A minor, so you can go right back to A minor. Go to D minor, E7, and A minor. Okay, So the whole thing works very. There's nothing surprising in that in terms of music theory. It's all goes together just like duck soup, and you would be very wise when you're thinking about, hey, I'm going to write a song to just grab those chords and go with them. They'll work for you. Okay. Now let's talk about triplets. It's set up in 3/4. That means there's 3 beats in every measure, but you got 9 notes in every measure. So that means it's 1 triplet, 2 triplets, 3 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet through the entire tune. Okay, with the exception of measure 8 and measure 16, everything is going to happen the same way. For those of you who are teachers, or for those of you who are not that into counting, the fun way to count it is 1 monkey, 2 monkey, 3 monkey, 1 monkey, 2 monkey, 3 monkey, 1 monkey, 2 monkey, 3 monkey. I like that better than triplet. I don't know, just and when I was learning in piano, she said say triplet. Triplet, 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 triplet. And I don't like that because you can't number the beats, but monkeys you can. 1 monkey, 2 monkey, 3 1 monkey, 2 monkey, 3 monkey. I think those types of educational things are super helpful. When I learned to ski back in the day, we had this, and we have this, right? And that's the 2 things you do as a beginning skier, and you go to this class. You're 6 years old, and your dad drops you off on the bunny slope. So see you in 5 hours. But now they call it pizza and French fries, right? Pizza, French fries, pizza, French fries, pizza, French fries, and how much more fun is that to learn how to ski that way? Okay. Now, the biggest challenge you'll have is that, yeah, there's your chords, right? Yeah, that'd be great, but it's not going to work out that way when you get ready to do the ukulele melody line. So let's walk through every measure and just make sure you know what you're doing. Okay. So obviously, A minor, you're not going to play this note. And so you don't even necessarily need to finger it. And I want to look at the ukulele melody line. Then we'll talk about what happens on the tough uke. So just the ukulele melody line here. You got 0, 0, 0, and you're going to use ring. You're not. You're going to use middle, index, and thumb. Okay. Now you can use this ring, middle, index if you want. The problem is that puts your ring finger, which is your worst finger, onto your most important string here, and it's not ideal. And since you're not going to be playing the top string until you do a strum, let's put a smarter finger on that bottom string. Let's see if I can get some lighting on this. Middle finger here, index finger here, and thumb here, and just ignore this string. Okay, so those are the 3 fingers I'd like you to use. Okay. So first 3 notes are opens. Open, open, open. Now add your ring finger for the 3. 3, 0, 0, 3, 0, 0. Now don't move that. Just add your index and middle as if you're going to make a G7, but leave your ring finger planted. Okay. It's really a D minor, but it looks like a G7. Okay. 3, 1, 2. Now slide your ring finger back. 2, 1, 2, 2. 1, 2. Now the next measure is a mess, right? And I think I can't remember. Somebody yesterday says measure 3 is killing me. Okay, pinky on 5, ring on 4, index on 2. Okay, you're going to be doing that in time, so it's okay, and that's what's going to happen. Now, notice you've got I'm picking these fingers very specifically because I'm going to need my middle finger to play the 3, 4, 2. So now I lose the pinky. 3, 4, 2, and then I'm going to slide that middle finger back to 2, 2, 4, 2. That's how you're going to successfully be. That's how you're going to pull that measure up. 5, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 4, 2. Jump up to 7, 7, 0, 0, 7, 0, 0, 7, 0, 0. And then you made your first 4 measures. It's going to be beautiful when you do it. Okay. Okay. So just on your paper, measure 3. Write P next to the 5. Write M next to. And then do ring on the 4 and index on the 2. That's that first triplet. and then the second triplet, write an M next to the 3, so you can make sure that that's that. And you'll know to pull back to get to the 2-4-2. Okay, measure 5, 0, 0, 0, 3, 3, G7. Don't move your ring. It's really a D minor. Now pull back this, and it for sure feels like a G7. Same exact thing here. Pinky, ring, index, middle, ring, index, middle, ring, index. Let that one ring. That's worth. It'll feel like it's worth 3 beats. It's only worth 1 beat, but because you've been playing triplets, it'll be like 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then give that a nice big strum. And now we're going to go back to the top of the page. Okay, we're going to come back and play this in a minute. Let's finish just studying the rest of the piece of music, and then we'll see what we're going to do. Okay, so that's pretty playable except for that one measure. And if you'll get your pinky, ring, and index correctly, and then drop your middle finger in on that next triplet, I think you'll be successful. Okay, let's go on to measure 9. Same thing, the zeros, then the 3s, and then 7. And what I recommend when you've got something in classical music where you can do that, you should do it, because it's not classical in any way whatsoever. It's very modern and it's very cool. So it's 0, 0, 0, 3. Okay, and you've got 2 5s coming up. You've got your finger on 7. You got 2 5s. Guess what? Bar chord. Okay, 2 7 5 5. Lose their ring finger. Add your pinky on 8. And I will point out, you guys have done this a gajillion times, right? It seems like a lot in the moment, but that chord, you've done it since Yankee Doodle. Or no, this is from Amazing Grace. This is from Yankee Doodle. This is from Amazing Grace. Okay, so that's how much you've been playing this thing. 8 5 5. Now you jump down, grab your G7s. 2 1 2. Ring finger forward. 3 1 2. Now get this right here as well. 5 3 5 is going to be pinky, index, ring. Okay, pinky, index, ring. So there's a bunch of motion you got to do there, but you keep your pinky planted. And 5 0 0. 3 0 0 7. And the measure 13 is just a repeat of the beginning, so you'll already know how to play that. Let's go do it. From 13, ready, go. 0 0 0 3 0 0 3 0 0 2 1 2 2 1 2 2. Pinky finger here. Pinky, ring, index, middle. Okay, that's what we're after. One last technique you got to work on, and this will either go smashingly well for you, or you won't be able to do it at all. The very last time, when you come up to that, it says harmonics on last time. So here's where your harmonics are. You have harmonics, easy harmonics or natural harmonics are on 12, 7, and 5. 7 and 5 are pretty hard to do. 12 is fairly easy to do. What you're going to do, you're going to take your finger, not in the middle of 12, but actually on the front bar, on the front metal, and then don't press down, just barely touch the strings. Okay. Okay. And don't use the top string on this one. A weird thing happens. You end up in it with the wrong chord if you do that. So you're only going to play the bottom 3 strings. You're going to put this very lightly over the top. Okay. When you first do it, you'll get this. Right. And we want it to be softer and gentler than that. Okay. If you get it too far back, there won't be a harmonics there, and if you get it too far forward, there's no harmonics. But right on the bar, it'll be beautiful. Okay, got it? And you'll make a lot of those, right? So I'm hitting the strings and lifting up on this once the harmonics are going. Let them ring out. Okay, you do also have harmonics at 7. and 5. They're hard to hear, and it depends on the quality of your ukulele, generally speaking, how well they're going to work out. And down the road, if you are ever watching Jake, he's loves his artificial harmonics. So if you are at 12 and you put a little index finger above it, and then you pluck with your thumb, you get your harmonics, right? And then if you fret at 2, now that harmonic moves down to 12, or I'm sorry, moves down to 14. And then you can move it up to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So then you can play. Okay. So you can move those harmonics around by fretting it and then changing your technique. That's an advanced technique that honestly you don't really need to do that until you are, a fairly accomplished player, and then you certainly don't need my help with it. But the idea is there's a difference between natural harmonics, which happen automatically at 12, 5, and 12, 5, 7, and 12, and then you can actually play harmonics by fretting, and then that moves the location down here where your harmonics will show up, and then you use this technique where your index finger forward and thumb underneath, and I'm actually plucking with my thumb. Okay. And it's kind of fun. Well, you see how that happen a lot in more advanced guitaring. This is all I want out of you, right? Just a little bit of light bar. And there's that. Hopefully that's making sense. Okay? All right, let's play this song. Okay, we're going to play it crazy slow. Good, because I don't understand any of it. Patty understands nothing. She's blank. She's a blank slate. Okay. When we get there, just do it the best you can. If you get this, that's what you get. Okay? Let's take it nice and slow from the top. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to go, and we're going to go at the speed that I'm counting because I don't want to go anywhere near full speed yet. From the top. 1, 2, 3. Oh, 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 3. Oh, oh, 3. Oh, oh, 3. 1, 2, 2. 1, 2, 2. 1, 2. 5, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 4, 2, 7, 7, 7. Oh, 3, 3, 3, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2. Pinky ring, index, middle, ring, index, middle, ring, index. 1, 2, 3. Strum. Now go back to the top. Let's try it all again. Ready, go. Move on to measure 9. Measure 14. Measure 9 again. thoughts. I think it's a beautiful piece. I'm really, really excited that we're working on it. A friend of mine, I've known for quite a long time now, used to run the Steamboat Ukulele group, has turned into quite a fine classical guitar player. And he's like, Gary, I want to learn this song on classical guitar. So we started working on that. And I'm like, this is going to be a way better ukulele song. All right. Let's play through it one more time, just so that we get our chopstick in order. You guys are being suspiciously quiet today. I'm wondering if maybe I'm just teaching to myself today. Hopefully, you're actually out there somewhere and you're on a massive time delay or something. And I do like it too. Vicky at least is still online. So all right. So as long as Vicky's here, we don't need anybody else, right? Okay, come on. Let's do it one more time. We got 10 minutes. We're going to take it nice and slow, the whole thing, see what we can come up with, and. Oh, I was going to mention on the top you can absolutely do what that says, right? But I don't think it sound. I don't think it was a good idea for me to do that. That's what I'm trying to say. It does create that sense of extra depth that you would have gotten on the guitar, but I think it throws off the whole idea of this beautiful arpeggio telling you this story and rolling through there. So, oh, good, Cat likes it too. Yay! Whew. Okay, I do think you can mess around with that tough uke line. Probably in the end of the day, I'm going to delete it, but try it and see what you did. I played with it quite a bit today, and I decided ultimately I wasn't a fan of it. And of course, it's Gary trying to come up with a solution to missing two guitar strings, which always is a bad idea, right? Just let him go, Gary. Okay, let's play it all the way through one more time. It's lute-like, yeah, right? Guess what? 1852, Francisco Tàrrega was born. Lutes had just gone out of style. They had just finally seen the end of their days. Around 1800, lutes started to die out pretty heavily, and other instruments were becoming more popular. Mostly the piano was taking over, and the guitar was sort of on its way up the ladder in terms of that. And as most of you know, guitar is a child of the lute, and the lute reached a point where it had 13, 17 strings, crazy numbers of strings. Most of them were just open bass strings, and they decided, you know what, it's just too much. Let's just stick with six. We'll make it in a much more pleasant way to play it. Lutes, if you've ever even held on to a lute, they're ridiculous. They're just not that fun. But this came directly from that tradition of those great lute players through some of these really fine composers who left us some really nice music. And this is one of those pieces. And I do think, think of yourself as a lutenist. As I tell you guys all the time, I do teach you like it's the 17th century, and I'm not messing around. I really do think that that's what we're up to with this style of play, is making it sound like a lute. From the top, all the way through, do the repeats. 1, 2, 3. Measure 2. Pinky finger. The top. There's your solo for your ukulele group, by the way. If we ever get to go back to ukulele groups, you walk in, sit down, and play that, and people will come up and ask you about you, right? Because they'll be positive you have some sort of magic inside of you, and you do. That's why you're here every day, because you are magical. Let's see, what other thoughts is that? I think that's good for the day, right? Um, Lots and lots of you are working through the super secret song, and if you still need it, send me an email. I got to a ton of you guys. Um, the first song, if you, any of you, if even one of you is able to figure out what song it is, it will blow my mind. It is an extremely obscure song. uh, but the second song, but you guys are starting to tell me what the second song is, and so far everybody's been right. So it's less also is less about guessing what the song is and more about you creating a nice way to play it for yourself, right? So you've got the melody, you got the chords. Get the melody written down on your tablature as best you can, and then go through and see if you can add any chords underneath there. Because next Monday we are having arranging class, right? And so you guys will be a little bit ahead of everybody else in terms of, hey, here's the song, here's the chords, here's how it fits on the tablature. Here's what we're going to do to turn it into a ukulele chord melody arrangement. Here's what we're going to do to turn it into tough uke. Here's what we're going to do to turn it into fingerstyle. Here's what we're going to do to wow an audience with 8 measures of brilliance, right? And so, keep messing with it. Again, the name of the first song is not important. It's super, super, super crazy obscure. And what I want you to do with that one is rewrite the words, because when you hear what the words are, you're going to be like, well, that's stupid. Okay. So you need to create some better words than that. All right. Beautiful songs today. Both of them are good, right? Both of them are a lot of this, and so hopefully you're getting where that's a thing for you. And that's it. So go off and have a great day. Stay away from crowds and other people. Wear a mask, all that good stuff. It's crazy out there, and so I need all of you guys to come back every single day and be safe. So, oh yeah, I'm here. Sandy's here. All right, nice. It's like Pauline says, it's gorgeous. It is gorgeous. It's a nice piece of music, right? If you really emphasize the first note of the triplet, it really sounds good. Yeah, and not unimportant in a lot of classical music, especially for guitar. The first note's the melody note, and then there's some doodads after that. This is true finger style from 18 whatever, right? The first note of each triplet makes you try to hit a tiny bit harder with your middle finger than the other two, and that will help pull out the melody out of it. It's really beautiful. Yeah, good job. Lynn goes, whew. Phew. I like that. Jackie, very nice. Good to see you. Renee, thanks, Gary. We need to spend some time practicing. Yeah, a little bit of time practicing, right? That's hopefully what you're doing by hanging out with me, right? Minette, have a great day. Beautiful music. Red, tough uke is scrumptious. Just arrange it better. Yeah, that's my problem. I suck at arranging. Now, there's a couple moments on this where it just doesn't work very well, and so it take time to try that as well. It's fun. Off to Hawaii, Lanny. Be good over there. Don't give them anything. They don't like us over there anymore. They're technically part of America, right? Technically. All right. Be good. Good to see you, bud. See you tomorrow, Lynn. Have a great night. Vicky, loved it today. Thanks again. You bet, Vicky. It's good stuff. Patty, good to see you. Very pretty. Nice, right, Terry? I'll see you tomorrow. Chris, tomorrow, Captain, I'll be practicing. Yep, practice a little bit. Don't overdo it, right? We got wine to drink as well. So, you guys have a wonderful day. I will see all of you hopefully tomorrow for concert. Diane will be out golfing, and we'll persevere without her. And you guys have a wonderful day. I'm going to end the stream. Be good.